guys, GC here, and we're back with a movie review. Spy. Directed by Paul Feig, the dude that directed The Bridesmaids and The Heat. And this movie stars Melissa McCarthy, Jason Statham, Jude Law, Rose Byrne, Miranda Hart, and everyone else. Check down below. So what's this film about? Well, basically it's about the transformation of a desk-bound CIA analyst who becomes a field agent as she attempts to foil the black market sale of a suitcase nuke. And that's basically the entire film. So what did I think? Well, first off, I wasn't gonna watch this until I heard that it got 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then I was like, oh, and then I actually found out that Rose Byrne is in this. I was like, whoa, I must check it out. And lo and behold, that 95% totally is worthy of a 95%. It was just a very fun film. Like, action comedy, I feel like has been stale for a while, but this totally inject new life to this genre. So having seen that Paul Feig directed Bridesmaids, The Heat, and now this, it's like he's worked well both with Melissa McCarthy and Rose Byrne, and I really feel that he had a great casting. They really shined in their characters, and it was a blast to see them in their roles, because they were pretty much the craziest highlight. So yeah, action comedy. The jokes here are great. There's a lot of running gags that exist throughout the entire film, where they introduce it in the beginning and they have little bits and pieces thrown out throughout the film, and it's just awesome. It totally reminds me of like the whole Whedon language joke with Captain America and Avengers 2. It's that sort of style where it fits like very organically and also delivers a laugh where it's like genuine. It's not just like, oh, I've seen it so many times, I'm sick of it, but rather you're like, ha, it's again happening and I'm still laughing. The characterization here is awesome as well. Melissa McCarthy plays like herself pretty much in the beginning, and then she becomes this crazy field agent, and it's like a authentic transformation. It doesn't feel that far-fetched that she can do all these things. I mean, contextually in the plot, it's explained why she can, and it's just like, you just take it and go. You don't have to think too much about it. You're like, nope, that doesn't make sense. And also how she becomes this progressive, like, effective field agent. You're just like rooting for her. So it's just really awesome to see the progression of her character and the development that she went through. Also, in terms of Rose Byrne, she plays a wicked badass bitch. Like, holy crap, the F-bombs from her is just awesome and fun. And it's just, she played it really well, and I loved all her lines, and just the banter that she had with the rest of the cast was just amazing. Also, Jason Statham, like, we know the guy, he's like our typical action star now, and I really love how in this story they, you know, flipped it on his head and like made him the comedy relief, which is interesting, as in like Melissa McCarthy is like the funniest person supposedly, but Jason Statham has some pretty good scenes in terms of just like playing fun at the whole like him being action, and Jude Law basically plays himself, and it's, I would say Jude Law is probably the weakest out of the four, but oh well, I mean 3 out of 4 is totally not bad. Anyway, it was an enjoyable film. Characters are done well. The way it's shot, there's a physical comedy, there's gags here and there. Action was actually not bad in the sense where the slow-mo was done in a tasteful way where it just really felt like it added to the scene rather than just like, why are you slow-moing this scene? It doesn't do anything. It's intense, it's action. Another thing I really did enjoy was the thrill. As in, like, you know that certain people won't die, but then the thrill factor was still there, the danger sense was still there. You're like, maybe they're setting it up that he might die, or would he not? Because the action is really intense in the sense of gore. Like, things are fast and like brutal, so it's not just like, hey, let me shoot you and not hit you at all like Stormtrooper style, but rather, if you get shot at, you better like duck and cover your face. So I really did enjoy how they had that suspense throughout the entire film, and it added another layer where it's not just like, oh, action comedy, no one's gonna die. I would say the story could have been better, but whatever. The characters were done well. Did I say that? Let me count that again. So great characters, great development characters. The plot was pretty good in the beginning, and action was fun, awesome, fun. Basically, this entire film is fun and totally worth your while, and I definitely would recommend it if you have been feeling like, oh, there hasn't been a action comedy that's really worth my while. This one totally is. Though, if you're one of those people that are turned off by F-bombs and just like, distasteful language is just horrendous, then it might be harder for you to appreciate it on the level that I appreciate it, because it was just fun. The F-bombs were just awesome, because this is like Rose Byrne. To me, Rose Byrne, sure, she was playing like the bitch in Bridesmaid. I don't really remember her from that, but I remember her everything else, and she's always like the calm, sort of like nice, kind person, and all of a sudden this role for her, it was just like, hey, her range is great. Anyway, I'm pretty much done here. Great stuff, watch it, totally recommended. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this movie review for Spy. If you have seen it, leave your comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And that is all for this movie review of Spy. Out!